Hi there, my name is Felix. Today I'll be showing off two acoustic simulator pedals. One's the Boss AC-3, probably one of the most popular acoustic simulator pedals on the market today. And alongside it will be the tiny baby Mooer Acoustikar, which is has a lot less features. The reason I'm testing these pedals out, I've been loaned these pedals from Music Junction in Camberwell, Victoria, Australia. That's in Melbourne, Australia for you guys who are not down under. Music Junction has very kindly loaned me these pedals to test out to see which one I might like to keep for jazz gigs that's coming up that I might like to use them for. So my story is that I generally play custom arch tops like this. This was built by Gary Rizzolo of Rizzolo Guitars. It's a 7-string arch top, gorgeous piece of work, beautiful Tasmanian blackwood on the back. Gary builds some of the best guitars in the entire world, and it's got a modern arch top, acoustic arch top sound to it. And what I like to try to do is I'm experimenting with 8-string guitars, like this one from Ibanez, built for metal and gent. But the issue with this, obviously, is that because it's an electric guitar, it doesn't have an acoustic sound at all. And I'm trying to see if I can get an acoustic sound. I'm trying to see if I can coax an acoustic sound out of this using one of these pedals. So, given I've got these two pedals, I thought I'd take you through and share what these pedals sound like with you. So here's a reference tone to begin with. Let's see. Right. And here's the Boss AC-3. And in comparison, here's the Acoustikar. They both do a decent job out of simulating an acoustic resonance out of an electric guitar. What I've got set up here, just to explain to everyone, I've got my Strat set on the neck pickup, excuse me, going through to the Acoustikar and then out into the Boss AC-3, out of the guitar amp output of that into Tech 21 Sans amp Paradriver DI, which I then send straight to my PA system. The reason for that setup is because this is how I set up for my live gigs. I use Sans amp to get a guitar type tone to put straight into a house PA or to my own PA system rather than carry guitar amp around. And so when testing this, I'm testing it with a setup that I would effectively use live. The significant differences between the two pedals: the AC-3 is much more fully featured than the Acoustikar, as you can imagine from the size. The AC-3 has a battery compartment, which the Acoustikar doesn't. The AC-3 has got a built-in reverb, which could be very useful to some, whereas the Acoustikar doesn't. Both of them have a top and body adjustments on them. The AC-3 has got 4 different acoustic modes, where the Acoustikar only has 3. The Acoustikar only has a standard, a jumbo, and piezo, while the Acoustikar has the standard jumbo piezo as well as an enhanced mode as well. And the other major difference between the two of them, obviously, is that the AC-3 has got both a line out and a guitar amplifier out, and it automatically switches between which output is used depending on whether the pedal's used or not. If you only have it coming out of the guitar amp or the line out, it'll only use that one. But if you have both plugged in, then it'll choose which output to go to depending on whether the pedal's depressed or not. And the only other thing that I did notice, which I hadn't quite appreciated until I actually got the Mooer, is that I hadn't quite appreciated how loud the sound of this foot switch is compared to that. AC-3. It's probably not going to bother many unless you're actually recording in a fairly quiet environment and switching the pedal on and off on the fly. I'm likely going to be turning it on and leaving it on for good, so it's not really going to cause me any problems. But there you go, just something to be wary of. So what you just heard before was was both pedals set to the standard mode. Everything's set to 12 o'clock pretty much across the board, and that's all I'm going to do with the pedals. I'm not going to tweak the knobs anymore than that, just for the purposes of comparison. And here's so let's have a listen to the AC-3 again. Okay, so here's the AC-3 on standard. And here is the Acoustikar. What hopefully should be quite apparent coming across to you through the video is that the Acoustikar has got a much brighter and wide open tone compared to the AC-3, which I found very interesting. Both actually simulate the acoustic resonance, I think, quite well. It's like having two different sorts of guitars. The best way I can describe it to you is that, to me, it feels and sounds like the AC-3 has got almost a close mic sound to it. It's an external mic, like an SM57 or another condenser mic. A dynamic mic, put up close to the sound hole of the guitar, and then you play and you get an external sound of the guitar, like that. Whereas the Acoustikar sounds to me more like you might have microphones inside the body of the guitar, and you're picking up a lot more resonances, a lot more sound and tonal range out of the guitar. And you're also getting this. There's a really nice percussiveness to it. Again, sort of the thing you'd imagine you'd hear if you had microphones inside the body of the guitar as opposed to a microphone outside. And just by comparison, coming back to the AC-3, that's almost what I expect to hear if I had a mic sitting in the front of my guitar with me doing that. I can sort of hear the wood resonating a little bit like that. So that's what it sounds like to me anyway. Let me know if you disagree or if you think it sounds like something else. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting. It's like having two different styles of acoustic guitar to play with these two pedals. So they're quite significantly different. Let's play around with a couple of actually, since I've got that AC-3 on, play a couple more licks for you, I suppose. And here's the Acoustikar, again on standard. Yep. All right. So let's have a look at one of these other modes. So this is standard again. And this is jumbo on the AC-3. Quite nice. I can also imagine that's a jumbo size guitar body on that one. And here's the Acoustikar on standard again. And on its jumbo setting. Not hearing as much of a difference as I did on the AC-3, to be honest, but there is a slight difference in resonance. You sort of imagine it's a slightly larger body, but not anywhere near as much of a difference as on the AC-3. So let's come back to the piezo setting. I'm going to skip the enhanced setting because the Acoustikar doesn't have it. So the piezo setting on the AC-3. So you can imagine that's like a piezo pickup in a bridge of your acoustic guitar, and here's the piezo setting on the Acoustikar. Quite nice. And back on the AC-3 on its piezo setting. Again, I'm hearing a much larger tonal palette out of the AC-3 than the Acoustikar. The differences between the three modes, or the various modes on the Acoustikar, seem to be less pronounced than on the AC-3, which seems to have very large differences between them. I'm going to switch over to the 8-string and let you have a listen to a bit of that and see how we go. And I'm going to cut across to it now. I'm back with my behemoth of an 8-string guitar. This is my 8-string Ibanez, 27-inch baritone scale. As I said, this was built primarily for metal and gent players. So it's got DiMarzio humbuckers on it, which are quite a bit hotter and warmer, obviously, than the Strat single coil. I've got this set to the neck pickup as well. Let me play you some reference tones. Let's turn the AC-3 on in its standard mode. There we go. Not too bad. It's quite nice. Let's try it with the Acoustikar on its standard mode. Quite nice and quite different. Let me try that again. Let me play a little slower to see if I can hear what's happening on the treble side of this. Quite pretty. Let's go back to the Acoustikar. That's quite nice. Again, I'm hearing a lot more tonal frequencies from the Acoustikar than I am from the AC-3, but I'd be hard pressed to pick one over the other, to be perfectly honest. In a sense, I'm leaning towards the Mooer a little bit with these DiMarzio humbuckers, only because they're so, they're a little warmer to begin with, and the Acoustikar, the Mooer brightens the tone up quite a bit more than the AC-3 does. But I like the sound of both. To be perfectly honest, I can see myself using either. That's a problem. We're so spoiled for choice nowadays. If I had just picked up the AC-3 and didn't have the Mooer to compare it to, I'd be perfectly happy with it. And likewise with the Mooer, if I just had that, I probably wouldn't be missing the AC-3. Having them both together poses a problem. Got to choose. I've got to say I did like the AC-3 quite a bit with the single coil pickups, though. That was quite nice. So that did seem to work quite well for me. Not sure which way I'm going to go. I hope this has been of some help to you. I suppose at the very least, it's been very surprising to find that little Acoustikar holds itself up quite nicely to the AC-3, and it's actually half the price of the AC-3 as well. I think they retail for about the AC-3 retails for about $190 odd, both US and Australian, and the Acoustikar retails for about $99. So it's nearly half the price of the AC-3, and it does a pretty decent job. That one might be staying with me, in which case, or both might be. We'll see. Again, thank you to Music Junction Camberwell for lending me these pedals. They've been absolutely great to me. Do head on down there and check and say hi to the guys and check them out if you need any guitar gear or toys. There's lots of guitars down there, lots of Boss and Mooer pedals. Feel free to drop my name and tell them Felix said hi and sent you down. But yes, hope this has been of use to some of you, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.